Okay, Kwesi's been cooking. Day two of free agency. Uh, Before most people were even up this morning, the Vikings signed. They did sign Jonathan Allen, who was in town yesterday. They got him inked for 3 years, 3 year deal, like 50 million, something like that. So D tackle. Um, and they also signed Will Fries. Um, I think it's pronounced Fries. It's spelled Fries. I wasn't sure if it was Fries or Freeze. I was looking it up. It was inconclusive. Guard from the Colts. We took the Colts center. Now we got one of their guards. They signed him to a 5 year deal. So you know, but he's a little younger. Some of these guys they've been signing so far in the free agency are a little older. But Fries is pretty young. I mean, he can be entrenched there. Um, for years to come. Pretty expensive deal, but I mean, he was one of the top guys available on the market. Um, and those are the only two we signed today. But I guess we're going to be signing Javon Hargrave from the 49ers. I'm not sure how this is known, but he's going to be released, and then we're going to sign him right away. I don't know why other teams would then have a chance to sign him, but supposedly we're going to sign him. And another interior defensive line. Like we're doing it, man. We're beefing up the trenches. I mean, if we get Hargrave, then that's four guys in free agency. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money invested, in the trenches on both sides. And you know what? I don't think anyone's going to complain too much. I mean, that's what you got. That's what you got to do. It's what we've never really done. Um, you know, it's always been a false narrative that we've ignored the offensive line. I mean, we've spent a lot of high draft capital over the last, 7 or 8 years on linemen. It hasn't always worked, but you know, that we have spent a lot of draft capital and occasionally money on that position, but um, we've certainly never done it anything like what we're doing right now. We, we've got. I mean, the O line and D line are going to look completely different next year, and we're not done yet. I mean, we might still go get another guard. We might still go get another D lineman or something. Um, so Kwesi's cooking, man, and apparently we still got a pretty decent amount of cap space left. I mean, we've used up a lot of it, but the way we've always been able to structure these things. That's why I never were. I even in the Kirk years when everyone's like, "Oh, we have no cap space," like, well, we always figure stuff out. But now it's a little more just like free spending stuff, and it's fun to see. It's gonna be. I mean, if JJ McCarthy is legit, if he can play right away, this is gonna be a very very formidable football team. Um, and you know, and again, we there's still stuff to do. We still haven't figured out uh, backup QB Daniel Jones. He decided to go to the Colts. They paid him 14 million for a year. Under no circumstances would I have paid Daniel Jones $14 million for a year. I mean, that's more than Darnold got last year. Um, you know, but I mean, it makes sense for him. I mean, he can go to Indianapolis and maybe compete for a starting job. Um, there's still some decent backup QB options out there. I'd be fine with like Gardner Minshew if that's what it is. I saw Jacoby Brissett signed with I think the Cardinals. I wouldn't have minded him. I mean, if you want to do the reclamation thing, Mac Jones is out there. Flacco, I heard his name mentioned. Like maybe I wouldn't be totally opposed to him. Um, it's not going to be a big name. It's not. There's a couple big name players at quarterback whose future is still kind of out there. Um, you know, if it came to it, I would be perfectly happy to take a certain recent former quarterback on a cheap deal to be a backup and mentor, but I will not mention the name. Talked about him a few times on this channel over the years. I don't think that'll happen. Sounds like he might go to Cleveland if he gets cut. Um, but there's plenty of decent options out there for backup QB. Um, and then we're still waiting on like a wide receiver, maybe. Cooper Kupp's been talked about. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, apparently this has been this is considering it was like barely 24 hours ago, everyone was screaming about Kwesi. Why isn't he doing anything? Why are all these players signing? We haven't signed, and now we've signed like 4 big contracts in the last barely 24 hours. It's like, just fucking calm down. Kwesi's cooking. He's doing great. Um, and you know this team's beefing up. Like they're like I might not have the necessarily the certainty in JJ McCarthy. I need to see it to really believe. Um, but they believe. I don't think they would. I don't think that if they were really unsure about JJ McCarthy or their ability to really coach him up, I don't think they would be spending this kind of money, because I think they'd be a lot more hesitant to go all in right now. But you know what? If JJ McCarthy's legit in year one as a starter, they're beefing up in the trenches. They've got obviously the skill talent, still stuff they can do. Um, I mean, this could be a very, very good team again next year. I mean, they were 14-3, and they didn't have a lot of these guys, and they didn't have you know anything approaching this talent in the trenches. So Kwesi, Kwesi's cooking, and hopefully he can keep cooking and get us some more players, because you can never have enough. But I think the big domino probably to fall the rest of the week is going to probably be what they do with like backup QB, because you know we've seen it over the years. The Vikings have been in the position as much as any team of needing that backup QB to come in and do something. Now, hopefully, JJ is good and healthy and he goes on for a decade. But if he doesn't, we want to have someone there. So, um, anyway, fantastic, fantastic couple of days for free agency for the Vikings, and more to come.